Hello, and welcome to Rethinking Our History, where we seek to shed a light on events that have been forgotten and covered up, and to make us all question how much do we really know about our history? I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ian, and we are here to reveal all the sordid details of history that have been swept under the rug. Get ready to get angry, be curious, and maybe have a laugh or two as we rethink our history.
Hello, friends.
Hey guys.
Thanks for joining us for another lesson, number 30.
30 of them already?
30.
Wow.
We're at 30. Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
amazing.
Oh, God, excuse me. Oh, sorry, guys. Got the burps.
That bagel.
Yeah, it's the bread absorbing all the acid in my stomach.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get to the business. We will be at Haywood County Pride on Main on June 28th.
Come and see us.
That is a Saturday. My store within reach will also have a pop-up shop at Pride that day too. So there'll be a couple of different places you could support. If you found us here first and are a fan of the paranormal, give our show, The Paranormal Lovers, a listen. Over 100 episodes about everything from Normie, the monster of Lake Norman, to the story of the band Mayhem.
Yeah.
If you would please be so kind, give us a follow and share on social media, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. We also have videos of both shows on YouTube. To find us on any of these platforms, just search for The Paranormal Lovers in the search bar. If you would like to support the making of these shows, we have a couple of ways you can do so. Did you put your dingle hopper in?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Is it not working?
No,
Can you
it
hear
is.
echo?
No, I was just double checking because we didn't a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And for some reason, her yelling made me remember. um, If you would like to support the making of these shows, we have a couple ways you can do so. First, we have our merch shop over at theparanormallovers.threadless.com. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/the paranormal lovers, where for $5 a month, you get early access to unedited videos of both shows, as well as stickers and other swag. What are you doing?
I got a flea hopping on me.
Oh, yeah, we got fleas, folks. We're not nasty people. We just got dogs and cats. And this yard, we can't get the fucking fleas out of this yard, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, we bought the shit to spray your yard with last year. I gave my dog a pill, and then I gave her a bath, and I put flea medicine on her, and I gave her another pill, and she still eat up with fleas.
Yep.
It's insane.
They're like, I don't know, super fleas or something.
Super fleas. It's crazy. And finally, if you have any personal stories, be it true crime, paranormal, or historical, or you have a topic request, email us at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com. So this week, as with the last few weeks, will be a little bit shorter. Sorry about that, folks, but between work and the kiddo and whatever's going on with like my brain and my body,
Our kid's been sick too. It's been crazy.
y'all heard of Fifth's disease? Parvo for humans?
Yep.
Jesus Christ. So you get what you get. You don't pitch a fit, but we thank you for being here.
Yep.
Is that her or the cat?
I think her.
Okay. And yes, I do know that there is a movie about this person released last year. No, we have not watched it yet because we have no kid free time to watch such things. That being said, let's get into it about the lawman Bass Reeves.
Right on.
Born enslaved, Bass Reeves was born in July of 1838. He was born as the property of Arkansas State Legislator William Steele Reeves. Bass was named after his grandfather, Bass Washington, and as was the custom during chattel slavery, he was forced to take his captor's last name. When he was just 8 years old, Bass and his family and their captors all moved to Grayson County, Texas, where he was then sent to William's son, Colonel George R. Reeves. George was a sheriff, legislator, and one-time Speaker of the Texas House of Representatives. Woo, Texas.
Scary.
Listen, my favorite podcast comes out of Texas, okay? but they're in Dallas, like the hub of like the blue and the dot of red.
Right.
Um, when the Civil War started, George joined the Confederate Army and took Bass with him. It is alleged that during this time, Bass got into a fight with George after a poker game and beat him severely. There is debate over what really happened between the two men, but after this, Bass escaped into Indian Territory where he lived with the native people. And I do call it Indian Territory a lot. I'm sorry if some people don't like that. That's just the way it was called. That's what it was at the time.
Right.
So, um, here he learned the languages and the ways of the quote unquote five civilized tribes. Remember, I think we talked about them on like the Trail of Tears,
Yep.
Cherokee Creek, Seminole, and a couple other ones. Sorry. He was even taught how to track. So,
Nice.
get on, Bass Reeves. Um, what's interesting though, and I do talk about it down there, is he was actually illiterate and he never learned how to read or
Hmm.
write. So
All
it's
right.
pretty impressive that he went on to be a badass.
Yeah.
When the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1865, Bass found himself to be a free man and he moved back to Arkansas. He bought land in Van Buren and began farming. There, with his first wife, Nellie Jenny, whom he married in 1864, the two had 10 children.
Wow.
10 children. I can't. Mm-mm. I don't even want to think about birthing 10 children. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Sadly, Nellie would pass away in 1896. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys, the burps. In 1875, Isaac C. Parker was appointed judge for the Indian Territory. He ordered newly appointed US Marshal James F. Fagan to hire 200 deputy marshals. Fagan had heard about the 6-foot, 200-pound black man who could speak native languages and knew the land well, and he wanted him to join the force. At the age of 37, he said, "I'm not old, I'm only 37." And he was right. Sorry, random. Oh, cool. Co-wash got delivered.
Nice.
At the age of 37, Bass became the first black deputy west of the Mississippi. He was assigned to the Western District of Arkansas. This district was one that had some jurisdiction over the Indian Territory, and Bass worked there until 1893. It was during this time that Bass did some of his most infamous work. Although he was illiterate, he would have the names read off the warrants until he had them memorized. He never once brought in the wrong person, and with over 3,000 arrests by some reports, there were only 14 known deaths by his hand.
Hmm.
And all of these deaths had been ruled self defense while in the act of executing an arrest warrant. 3,000. I
Right.
feel like he was just like rolling up posses, like bringing in posses or something.
I'm sure. Got a beautiful mustache.
They called it a push broom mustache, and I was like, "Yeah, I see it. I see it does look like a push broom. Sure does." Um, he was a master of. I didn't put this in my notes, but it said he was a master of disguise. Like sometimes he'd like pretend to be like a real rich person. Sometimes he'd pretend to be like a drunk, like homeless dude.
That's
Like
funny.
whatever he had to do to get the job done,
Yeah.
he did it.
That's cool.
Even more impressive, in my opinion, was that although on two separate occasions, at least, Bass had his hat and his gun belt shot off, he himself was actually never shot.
Wow.
Never.
And
Like
them ancestors was looking out for him.
the ancestors was looking out for
Hard.
him. Like the black ancestors and the indigenous folks too, because they were like, we like that man. In 1893, he was transferred to the Eastern District of Texas in Paris, Texas. Then in 1897, he was again transferred to the Muskogee Federal Court in Indian Territory. During his 32 years as deputy, he became the go to deputy called on by Judge Parker. He was so serious about his job, he once arrested his pastor, the man who had baptized him, for selling bootleg alcohol. He's like, look here,
That's
man.
funny.
You was talking about the Lord. The Lord says to follow the law of the land. You didn't follow the law of the land. I got to take you in.
Yep.
Even more than that, it is said that he also arrested his son, Benjamin Benny Reeves, for the murder of his wife. It is not clear if Benny turned himself in or if he was caught by Bass, but Bass felt it was his duty to bring in his child. Benny would be convicted, tried and convicted, and he served 11 years before his sentence was commuted.
Wow.
Yeah, so he ain't fuck around. You break the law, Bass Reeves is coming for your ass.
Yeah.
Bass Reeves is coming for your ass. We really need to watch this movie.
Yeah.
I feel like Tony Baker was in it, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like he had a cameo in it though.
That's cool.
In 1896, Nellie died, and in 1900, Bass married Winnie Sumter, and they had one child together. In 1907, Bass retired from the Marshals, but when Oklahoma became a state in the same year, he joined the Muskogee police force. He worked there for 2 years before his health forced him to retire. After his final retirement, Bass's disease got much worse, and on January 12th, 1910, he passed away at the age of 72 from Bright's disease.
Hmm.
So that man worked from 37 until 70
Wow.
as a cop.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Bass Reeves was a great man who did great things, and then he had descendants who went on to do some really cool things too. In 1972, his great nephew, Paul L. Brady, was the first black man appointed as a federal administrative law judge.
Nice.
His great great grandson, Willard Reeves, played in the Canadian and National Football Leagues.
Hmm.
And his great 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 grandson played professional hockey.
Nice.
Yeah. And fun fact, hockey was started by black people. Fight me. It's a fact. All right, folks. Like I said, I know this was a kind of a short one. I really couldn't find much. Like, I got
Yeah.
a good chunk of source notes, but it was like all the same thing
Yeah.
over and over again. So I recommend just go watch the movie.
Yeah.
Lawman Bass Reeves.
I'm sure he done a bunch of cool stuff.
He did a bunch of cool shit. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Love you. Bye.
Love you guys.